Welcome back, everybody, on the Empire Sports Network and down the line to our cable affiliates. Starting in the nets tonight for the Boston Bruins, Andy Moog, a 5 goals against average in 2 games. And for the Buffalo Sabres, Grant Fuhr, 2.19 goals against average in 3 games. 2-0, 3-0 record, a .930 save percentage. And for Grant Fuhr, moving into the 6-by-4 opening for this game number 4. The officials this evening: Dennis Morrell is the referee, Wayne Bonney and Dan McCourt, the linesman. Talking about Grant Fuhr, he ties Glenn Hall for the most playoff games. That is 2nd overall. And start number 115.
And he's 3rd overall in victories.
Billy Smith owns that record with 132. Here we go. Opening face-off of this game number 4 between the Bruins and Sabres as the puck is wheeled off the center ice immediately. Shaw and Himmelett face-to-face in front of the Buffalo bench as Himmelett tips it across the Boston line. Carrying it out is Stephen Leach. Working on the right wing is Cam Neely. Adams at center on this shift as Neely puts it down in the corner. Hannon flaps it back and Sutton gets it out to center. Swept to the Buffalo line by Wesley. Here's Neely coming across. Sutton can't hang on. We're going to have a penalty on this one as Sutton went a little too long on Neely. And Dennis Morrell will issue the first penalty this evening going against the Sabres.
A nice turnover by the Bruins in the neutral zone. And Ken Sutton got caught standing still at the blue line and ended up taking down Cam Neely. And if you're a defenseman or a forward for that matter, when you are standing still, you are useless. You've got to be moving. Sutton wasn't, and he tackled Neely to the ice. And the Bruins get an early power play.
So right up in this opening minute, now Buffalo's got.
Boston has never had a lead in this series, or never scored the first goal. How important is the first goal? Well, the Sabres have scored 6 goals in the first period. The Bruins 1.
2 for 17 on the power play. Ray Bork from the right point. That is stopped by Dave Hannon, who had an exceptional game on Thursday evening. And Hannon, known as the General, puts it back down behind the Boston net. Ray Bork playing playoff game 139 in his illustrious career. Working it up to Wesley, who puts it down in the corner. Bodger is there. And an icing call against the Bruins.
Now, a mistake by Boston as Wesley did not gain the center line. And an icing call in a face-off to the left of Moog. Cam Neely leading the Bruins with 3 goals, 1 assist. Adam Oates with 6 assists as a leading scorer in this series. And Oates at center with Neely. Joe Juno on the left wing. Buffalo, terrific penalty killing in this series. Boston 2 for 17 coming into tonight on the power play.
88.2% playoff status. They're 4th. Semi-final competition. Here's Joe Juno across the line. That's stolen by Bodger. He finds an opening and clears. Things about Juno. 32 goals on the regular season. There's nothing right now except for 1 in this series. And 5 shots on goal. Himmelett scored the game winner on Thursday, clearing it back in, and the penalty killers will change up on the fly.
I remember, John, back when I was playing, I never liked the power play early in a hockey game because you're not into the game, you're not mentally prepared for it. And that seems to be what's happening here as the Bruins struggle.
Bork puts it along the boards. Juno stops it. He's forced back to the right point, and that is picked up and cleared by Patterson. In pursuit is Bob Sweeney. Trying to get it away from Wesley, forcing him to make the play. Bork captures from behind, getting a little bit of a harassment from Sweeney. 36 seconds left in the penalty. Ken Sutton. This is first period action. No score. Juno leaves it along the boards. That is picked up by Adam Oates in front for Neely. He couldn't get the shot away. Neely getting it back to David Shaw from the left point. Kearney trying to poke it away from Neely. That's swept to the top of the slot. Shaw gets it back over to Joe Juno. Getting everybody to position. That poked and Oates holds on to it. Gets the score.
The puck was deflected. It went in behind Grant Fuhr. He thought he had the puck, and Cam Neely picked it up in the goal crease and scored. So getting an early power play doesn't bother the Bruins. He is 4th of the series, and Boston, for the first time, take a 1-0 lead. The puck, I think, was deflected off the goalpost, and Neely tapped it into the net. Here's a look from behind. Watch to the left of Muir. The puck will be deflected off the goalpost. And here comes Neely, and the Bruins lead 1-0. Adam Oates and Joe Juneau pick up the assist. 2:19 the time of the goal.
Neely didn't want to take any risks whatsoever. Threw his body in front of the Buffalo net to shovel it across the goal line. Here's Tim Sutton. Setting things up from behind the Sabres net. Pat LaFontaine along with Alexander Mogilny and Brad May up front on this shift as Ledger gets it to his own line. 1-0 Boston off a power play goal by Cam Neely. Short from behind the net. Tipping it along the way, Peter Duras skates down the left wing. Drilling it behind the Sabres net. Hines getting checked by Sutton. Mogilny tips it along the board. Heavily covered by Duras. May stretches for the puck at his own line. Poked away by Bourque. Here's Don Sweeney at center to Peter Duras, but a 2-line pass violation holds things up. 1-0 Boston. Here's Cam Neely. That's the goal. We'll be back. This is a regional break. First period action from the on the Empire Sports Network.
We now move ahead in the action.
Adam Oates has been a tough time for him in these 4 games. 45 goals on the season. Not a goal yet. Like 6 assists. Up one in addition here tonight as Himmelda tips it off to center. Wesley up to Cam Neely. Stolen by Himmelda as he works it back down to the Bruins corner. There's Sweeney. Rip it away from the boards. Neely controls. Himmelda out of the play and works it back down into the Sabres corner, and we're going to have an icing call here. Stopping things with 11 minutes and 53 seconds left here in the first. 1-0 Boston.
There's a look at Grant Ledger, who's had a fine season this year for the Buffalo Sabres. 3 points versus the Bruins in last year's playoff. And the Sabres, in the start of this game, playing ultra conservative. They are not going after the Bruins, and I don't know what they're waiting for. It's one thing to play a controlled, disciplined game. It's another when you start to play too cautious, and I think that right now the Sabres are too cautious.
They're all thinking about that scare check that they were doing before the game with a shaking of the hands.
You're a little nervous, and you don't want to make any mistakes, but what got them to this point to a 3-0 lead is puck pursuit. They took the body, and they harassed the Bruins in the Boston zone. So far early in this game, it hasn't happened.
First time the Bruins have had the lead in this series. We'll go with a face-off to the right side of Andy Moog. From the draw, tipped behind the Bruins net. Joe Juneau is there. Tim Sweeney, who is also back in the lineup. Putting some room for Sweeney to clear it back down to the Sabres corner. Kimball heavily covers Carney, and the loose puck picked off by Sutton. Out to center is Mogilny. Carney coming in on the play as Mogilny dashes to the left side of the Bruins net. Forced into the corner by Don Sweeney. Here's Sutton from the right point. Taking a shot, gloved by Moog.
Well, that was a nice play by Mogilny, and a good play too. Let's give Don Sweeney some credit as he tracked Mogilny in the corner. But Alex using his quickness and his strength to tap the puck back to the defenseman. Look at this great play by Mogilny as Sweeney has a hold of his jersey, but he manages to get it back to Sutton. But an easy save from Moog. Look at the good job in front by the Boston defense, preventing the Sabre forwards, Brad May and LaFontaine, from getting in front of Andy Moog.
21 points on the regular season for Don Sweeney. Set up to the left side of the Bruins net. LaFontaine facing Poulin for the draw. Poulin leaving it into the face-off circle where Bourque Flips it out. Flores clearing it back down into the Sabres corner. Fuhrer. A little stick handling out of his net. And checked by LaFontaine. They look to control that. Morel tells him to play the puck. And the poke it free is Sutton, but finally it is frozen up against the boards. And now LaFontaine and Poulin have a little word together as they collide to the wide surface.
Now LaFontaine and Poulin, of course, adversaries throughout this series. Every time LaFontaine's on the ice, usually you can expect Dave Poulin. Now he's talking about line matchups, though, and there's been no juggling at all. Both coaches are happy about or contented to play. For instance, John Buckler LaFontaine against Dave Poulin, and of course Hannon has played against the Adam Oates line. But why not? Adam Oates is, the lines are scoring, so I suppose they're thinking, well, we're going to keep them that way. We're not going to change. Oates has 7 points to lead the series. Cam Neely has 4 goals. Mogilny 4 goals. So exactly, the defensive players haven't exactly done a great job.
Here's Bork from the left point, and we'll have a stoppage in play here. Dennis Morel.
And a penalty.
Something on the draw, and it's a high sticky call on Dave Poulin.
Right off the faceoff. He roughed up Pat LaFontaine, and the Sabres will try for the second time now on the power play. Let's watch on the faceoff as Poulin high sticks or cross checks LaFontaine, and so the Sabres trailing it 1-0 on the power play.
Morel's going to give him a roughing call. First made the move of a high sticking infraction, but the roughing is the official call. Sabres' second power play opportunity.
That's a bad penalty too for Poulin. You're not going to intimidate Pat LaFontaine.
Chuck sneaks from the right side of the Sabres net, bringing the play to center. Mogilny and Himmelhoff waited behind. LaFontaine trailing in. Over free from Bortons. He's double teamed. Here's Hine. That's picked off by Howard Chuck. LaFontaine has it outside the face-off circle. Bodger and LaFontaine set it up, give it up from the goal line, trying to sweep it over to Mogilny. In his standard position on this power play formation. Himmelhoff held up against the boards by Don Sweeney. Howard Chuck comes in to take care of it, sets it up to LaFontaine. Bodger from the top of the slot. Back to LaFontaine. 1-0 our score. Boston here in the first. Second power play for the Sabres. Himmelhoff tried to flick it up to LaFontaine, couldn't do it, and the diving Donato setting it up for Steve Hines. Went one-on-one with Dale Howard Chuck, taking Hines down, moving the puck just to the left side of the Sabres net. Himmelhoff took it up to Mogilny, breaking in on Andy Moore to the backhand, scores! It's the magic of Mogilny, and the score is tied at 1.
Incredible. Watch how Mogilny handles this pass and doesn't lose any speed. Explosive. Look at that. And he takes Moog to the backhand and beats him to the far side. Boy, that is some control, speed, quickness. What a package rolled into Alexander Mogilny. His 5th of the series ties it at 1-1. All I can think of, he's like a keg of dynamite that just explodes about 4 times a game.
Alexander Mogilny now ties Dale Hunter for the goal lead in the playoff campaign. Dale Hunter with 5 goals with the Washington Capitals going into this evening's contest against the Islanders, and Mogilny makes the match with his 5th of the playoffs.
Watch how he controls that. I mean, that's not easy to do. And not miss a stride. And Moe challenged him, but Mogilny was so quick that Moe had no chance on the play. And the penalty to Poulin is costly to the Bruins. Undisciplined penalty, and we have a tie game.
We're in the second half of this first period. Locked at one. Patterson tipping it across the line for Hannon. Skate race now into the Boston corner as Patterson lets Wesley go. He provides the checking along the boards. Leaking the puck up to Neely. Back to David Shaw. Backhands it down to the right side of Fuhrer. Ledyard is there in pursuit as Oates. Also coming in is Steve Leach.
See that play that Sabres made, though. The flow is going to Grant Fuhrer's left, and the Sabres pass it back the other way to reverse it. That has worked throughout the series.
Shaw shooting it back in. Neely after it. He's covered by Ledyard. Loose puck is picked up by Leach with a wrist shot. That's saved by Fuhrer. Rebound goes into the corner. Randy Wood. It's a pop from Steve Leach, who is throwing a lot of checks here in the first period. Schmelik tries to clear it out in front. Broken play. Leach takes the shot. Splitting save by Fuhrer. Quick feet on the turnover. We'll be back.
Here's what the Buffalo Sabres must not do. Richard Schmelik, a terrible play to try to come up the middle. And Grant Fuhrer had a bailout Schmelik on that one eventually. You must go up the side when you have the puck in that position.
Donald on net, Dale Howard-Chuck working with Randy Wood. Keith Kearney drop pass to Wood. He is hit from the side, jarring that puck along the boards, and now Howard-Chuck captured as his own line. Nice move by Dale Howard-Chuck as he works it across the Bruins line. Nobody there, picked up by Darren Kimball. Giving it up to Brian Schmelinsky. Hook back out off the stick of Ken Sutton. 1-1 our score here with 8:06 remaining in the first period. Gord Roberts. Richer back to Roberts. Pass intended for Schmelinsky. Bodger clearing it back to the line for Audette. He flicks it back into the Bruins zone. So they're looking to get a change here. The completion is made as LaFontaine, May, and Mogilny come out. Bodger and Ledyard work on defense. Here's Bodger out at center. Moving across the line to May. Gilney taking Burris off the puck, trying to set it up for LaFontaine. Intercepted by Hines, who teams up with Brook. Coming across the Sabres line. Brook over to Dave Beaton with a shot. That's blocked by Mogilny. Rebound picked up the stick of Ledyard and clears it back out to center. Bork. Maybe a loose puck in the face-off circle. Bodger backhands it over to Sweeney. He'll have a stoppage here.
Now we got an
interference call.
Interference penalty coming up to Alexander Mogilny. Mogilny scores his fifth of the playoffs on the power play to tie it for Yuri Hevelev and Pat LaFontaine at 10:09. Now he goes to the box for interference. And the Bruins, who scored the first time they had the man advantage, try again. Watch this play in the neutral zone as Mogilny steps in front of his check. Right here.